Hello everybody and welcome to Bird's Nest Designs. It is Tutorial Tuesday and today I am here to share with you some fabulous new products from the brand new, just released today, Annual Catalogue. So let me just get some things organized on this end because I've got multiple computers going on here. I did have a different plan for tonight. I was going to go live a different way and I was going to share some things with you on my screen, but that was not meant to be apparently. So we're going back to this and I will film a video at some point. I'll talk more about that in a little bit and I'll share that with you guys. So hi Carol, hi Gail, welcome. Thank you for joining me. So as you guys may know, hopefully you know, the Annual Catalog has gone live today. So this beauty right here, filled with amazing products with just tons and tons of fun new things, great new colors, new papers, new patterns, new stamps. It's just filled with all kinds of wonderful, wonderful products. Okay, so let me just see who's here with us tonight. Oh, welcome Bev and Tina. Thanks for joining me. All right, so a couple of things before we start. So today is May 3rd and the brand new catalog has launched. So take a look, build that wish list because there is lots and lots of goodies in there. The other thing is today is the final day to register for my In Color Club. I'm going to place the order in as soon as I'm finished my live here tonight. So if you want to message me or contact me if you haven't already, if you'd like to join that. It starts May and it runs for 5 months. So May, June, July, August, and September. At the end, you'll have all of the brand new in colors. Hi Sherry, welcome. It's a fabulous club. It is always super popular and it's a lot of fun as you build your stash of all these pretty new colors. The other really exciting thing, hopefully you saw the top banner on my Facebook page has been changed to my brand new branding and logos, and my createwithbirdsnest.ca website is now live and ready and full of changes. There's still a few more coming, but for the most part it's done and it's beautiful and it's super pretty and I can't wait for you guys to check it out. I will put the link after the video today. I'll put a link to my website and I would love for you to go look and leave me your feedback because I think Amira did an amazing job. I'm super excited. It's super user-friendly too, which is awesome. So stay tuned for that. All right, well, I do have lots and lots of new clubs and classes planned after my retreat this weekend. I did tons of creating. It was super relaxing. It was absolutely wonderful. And I spent a lot of time. I do believe I made 51 cards was my count. So it was awesome. I had a blast. And now I'm here, I'm refreshed, and I've got lots to share with you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to flip the camera down onto my desk. Oh, thanks, Gail. I think the logo is beautiful as well. I love the shade of pink that it is now. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera down to my desk. And here is the card we are going to create today. But before we create, I do want to just share a little bit about this fabulous new Annual Catalog. If you don't already have a copy, and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then I would love to send one to you. And I've got some here ready to go, so just message me and let me know. There are fabulous new things in this catalog. What I want to share with you today is on page 12, and it's the Tea Boutique product suite. This one just jumped right out at me when I first saw the catalog, and I absolutely love it. I love the colors. It features all of the new in colors. So it's got the Sweet Sorbet, the Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and the Orchid Oasis. It also has some crushed curry added in there to add a spark of yellow, which always is bright and cheerful. So this is a product suite that I'm going to share with you tonight, bits of it. I'm also going to incorporate a few other products as well. So you'll get to see a few other things too. The in colors that I'm talking about, let me just find those guys. So here is a display of them. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. They're so bright and cheerful. So that's the In Color Club. You will end up with the cardstock, the ink pad, the ink refill, the designer series paper, the ribbon, and the gems, and 3 cards with each color by the end of it all. So you really do get a lot, and it's a super, super fun class. Okay, so, paper share is coming your way soon too. I'm just getting that all ironed out, and I'll be sending that email out. So if you like paper shares, this one you won't want to miss. It is really, the papers are beautiful. Yeah, so this page I have to share because it's just so pretty. It makes me smile. I love all that beautiful colors and all the crafty little knickknacks. It's gorgeous. So take a peek through your catalog. If you don't have a paper copy, like I said, message me. I'll get one to you. You can also go to createwithbirdsnest.ca, and we have links all throughout that new site that'll take you to the digital copy that you can flip through on online as well. And that's what I was hoping to be able to share my screen with you guys today and share with you that beautiful new site, but I couldn't get it quite figured out. So what I'll do is I'll record a video over the next couple of days, kind of a walkthrough of this gorgeous new site, and then I'll post it and you guys can check it out, and then you'll be familiar with how my website is going to work. All right. Oh, Bev loves it too. It's gorgeous. This suite is absolutely really, really pretty. Alrighty, so as I said, this wasn't what I intended to do for Facebook Live tonight, so bear with me as I'm a little less organized than usual, but here is the Cup of Tea stamp set. It's photopolymer and it is really, really beautiful. We've got the coordinating dies as well, the teacup dies here. Okay, so you can see it's going to cut out some of the coordinating images, and you also have a few additional accent pieces, which is always super fun. Okay, the other part of this suite that you can't miss out on is the gorgeous Tea Boutique paper. And I'm just going to show you, mine has been used, like I said, 51 cards over the weekend, and quite a few of them were teacups. But I want to share with you some of the paper patterns because it always does it more justice when you see it like this. So here aren't those pretty? And then we've got the Sweet Sorbet on the back. This one here has these cute little teacups and some Orchid Oasis on the back. And oh my goodness, I love, love, love the lemons. And then we've got some fresh freesia on the back, it looks like. We've got some other softer, smaller patterns, some more teacups with some Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. This is the one we're going to be using on our card tonight with these beautiful, pretty flowers. And on the back is just some nice yellow and white stripes. This one, isn't that fun? Love it. And then we've got some petal pink on the back. More teacups, which would be super fun to fussy cut. You guys all know that I love fussy cutting. And cute little envelopes with some flowers and some yellow again. And then this one, I think this might be my favorite. It reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. I love these teacups with all of the flowers around them, and then that beautiful Tahitian tied polka dot on the back. So that's just a really quick, really quick overview of this gorgeous paper. It's a 6x6 pack. You have 48 sheets in total. So check that out for sure. And if you sign up for the paper share when it's released, you will also get samples of that one in there as well. Okay, so in addition to this suite, this bundle here, we're also going to be using the stitched rectangle dies, which are returning from the previous annual catalog. And we're going to use the absolutely stunning Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. So this one, again, is absolutely gorgeous. You'll want to check this one out. And we are going to use pastel pearls, which again are a returning embellishment. Okay, so let's get started. We have a little bit of embossing to do, some fussy cutting. We're going to have a lot of fun crafting, and I'm going to try and give you the dimensions and the measurements as we go along. So first things first, we're going to take off our photopolymer stamps here. So I want to use this teacup with the stripes on it. So we're going to use that one, and we're going to use your thank you for your friendship stamp set. sentiment. Okay. So I've got my blocks here, and just a reminder, when you're using your photopolymer stamps, the best way to do it is to lay them flat on your stamping surface. That way they are their natural way, they're not getting twisted or anything else. So just lay it down and then pop your block on top, and now it's stuck on there perfectly. Okay, and same with this one. We're just going to do the same thing and pop it on, and now we've got them both ready to go. Okay, so we're going to use the fabulous, gorgeous grape cardstock base. I love how bright and bold this base is. We're going to fold it in half. So again, this is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that's cut in half at the 5.5 mark. And then I've scored it at 4.25 to make the card base. So we're going to go ahead and fold that where the bump to the inside, line it up nicely here, press down on that, and then use our bone folder to make sure that edge is really nice and crisp. Okay, so now we've got a perfectly folded, nice flat card base. I've got a 4 by 5.25 piece here that is just basic white, and I like to put that on the inside of the card so that when I write in it, I've got a nice clean surface. It's really going to be easy to read. And I've got a little dimensional stuck in here. That's okay. So this is going to be a lot easier, and it looks a lot more finished than just writing on the purple cardstock. All right, so here we go. Next thing we've got here is, let me just confirm these measurements. So we've got a piece of fresh freesia, which is a returning in color that measures 4 by 5.25. So same size as the insert, and that's just going to get popped right on top using my Stampin' Seal. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it to make sure that the border on the tops and the sides is equal. Okay, so just like that. And as I mentioned, we're going to use some designer series paper from the Tea Boutique 6x6 pad. So this is the one that I've chosen with these pretty purple flowers. The back side, as I mentioned, is the yellow and white stripes. So that is going to go on, and I've left just a very thin border. So this one's going to measure 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So that's going to give us just that slight border of the freesia paper in behind. And I will post this card to my blog as well, along with a video from my YouTube channel. And it will have the measurements on there for you then too, if you'd like to recreate this card. Okay, next let's take our scrap piece. So this is just a scrap piece of paper, big enough to cut out my rectangles. So the one I have in front of me here, oops, backwards, is 3 3/4 by 5, okay? And what I'm going to do is take my stitched rectangles, and what I love about these is that, number one, they're stitched, and I love all the stitched details on our dies. But what I like is, I'll show you. It'll be easier for me just to show you as we go. So I'm going to take out, oh my goodness, it won't come out. I believe this is the one we want. So we want this one, and then we want one that's 2 in from that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create this frame on the card, and I'll show you how we do that. So using my mini Stampin' Emboss machine here, and don't mind the band-aid on my finger as I got some paper cuts this weekend while I was crafting, and that one keeps opening. So we've got, what did I do with my, oh, here they are. Okay, so here are the plates for my mini Stamp Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to use plate number 1. And then we have 2 plate number 2s. So one that I use always for cutting, okay, and one that I try to use for the top. So what we're going to do is take that piece. What did I do with it? It was just in front of me. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we're going to set that piece right on top. And then we're going to put the larger rectangle on here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to center the smaller one right inside. So we're going to create this frame. And because I don't really want that to move, I'm going to do my Post-it note trick. So I've just got small little Post-it notes here. And I'm going to stick that down over top of here. And just, I'm sure I probably don't need to do this, but just in case, I'm going to put a second one up here as well. Okay. Then I'll put the top one on. And we're going to wheel that through. It's a little hard sometimes to get this started. There we go. And it is cutting two at once, so it has a little bit more tension. Okay, there we go. So now, I'll get this all situated back again. I'm going to pull off these Post-it notes. Okay, now this looks bigger. I think I've, oh yeah, that's because that's the outside. Oh, Denise, okay. All right, here we go. Real life crafting with Denise. So here is the outer frame. So you could, because we centered that so nicely without even really trying, you could use that on another project. And this is how the frame cuts out. So here we have our beautiful frame. And then we have an insert that you could use again on another card, or for this card tonight, we're going to use that to stamp our teacup. So there's our frame. We can bring our card in, and what I'm going to do is going to situate that right on the card front, a little more to this corner. Okay, and I'm going to put it down with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to put one in each corner. Yes, Gail, making the frames is a lot of fun. It gives those rectangle dies just a whole nother reason that we all need to have them in our collection. They're beautiful. And if you noticed, they stitch the inside and the outside of the die. So you get lots of different options. Something stuck to this from my machine here. Okay, I'm going to just pull these off. So all I'm doing is taking the backings off of these dimensionals. Okay, I got them all. Okay, so we're now going to just put this frame, oh, what that is, put that frame right here. So I want it centered top to bottom, but slightly more towards the left edge. Okay, so there we go. We've got that beautiful frame on top of our designer paper. And now we can go ahead and we're going to stamp our teacup. And like I said, we're going to use this piece that cut out for this. So using my black Memento ink, and you could use Stays On, you can use whatever black ink that you prefer. I'm just going to get this nice and inked up. Put that right in the center. Okay, and when I pull that off, we have that beautiful black and white teacup. Okay, so now we'll take our teacup dies here, and we're going to use this guy that's going to cut that out perfectly. Again, I'll take one of those Post-it notes we used on the frames, and I'm just going to line that up, stick that down, and then I'll bring my machine back over. The sandwich is going to be the same, 1 and 2 on the bottom, then our cardstock with the die on top, and then number 2. Okay. And then we can feed that through without. Okay. Now we have this pretty little teacup. Okay, so put that die back. So I want to put my teacup on here like this. And I'm going to use some more Stampin' Dimensionals. You guys all know how much I love them. So what I'm going to do is put them behind where the teacup is going to hit the designer series paper, not the frame, because I don't want to double bump this up, and I'll show you why as we continue. So we're going to do this. I've just got 2. It's not going to go anywhere. That's plenty. Oh, Carol, I'm glad to hear you love the rectangle dies. They are one of my favorites as well. They come in super handy. Okay, so there we've got our card. It's starting to come together. Next, we're going to stamp our greeting onto a strip of black, basic black, which just measures 1/2 inch. And then mine is plenty long. It's probably about 4 inches, which I'm going to trim down yet. 4 inches. And I am going to trim that down, but I just left it long in case I needed to fix anything. So again, I've got thank you for your friendship. I'm going to use this. Oh, first of all, back up. If you have a Stamping Emboss Buddy, this is a magic little tool, and we're just going to rub that across the black cardstock. Now, Stampin' Up! No longer sells these, but you can get them elsewhere, or you may already have one from previous when we did sell them. So if you have that, you're going to rub that over your cardstock. If you don't, it's okay. You can still do the same. You can still proceed. So I'm using my Versamark ink, and I'm stamping the image, and then I'm just going to stamp this down here. Okay, and it's a clear ink, and it's just going to go on my paper like this. You probably can't even see that. Oh, maybe you can. And then I have again, an older tray for the stamping emboss, and I'm using the white Stamp Emboss powder. And you have to do this fairly quickly before that dries. I'm just going to spread it over top, and then I'm going to knock the excess off, and you can see, for the most part, it's stuck to my stamp. The T didn't, there we go. Okay. And then I'll set this aside. And then I'm just going to use my heat emboss tool here. And I'll try and get it so you guys can see the magic. It might be a little bit loud, but we're just going to heat this up a bit. Make sure it's nice and warm, okay? And then you can watch as this melts and it just comes together in that nice, crisp, beautiful white writing. Okay, there we go. So we've got thank you for your friendship. And then like I mentioned earlier, I do want to trim this down. So you can use your paper trimmer, which I didn't bring in my office here with me, but I can just trim it with scissors as well. So I'm just going to shorten that down. Okay, and then we're going to attach that over here just like that. Again, using, you guessed it, Stampin' Dimensionals. So we're going to put a couple here. And then I've also brought in my mini dimensionals. I'm going to put one on the very edge here. So once I take these off, I'm going to tuck this right over here, lining up the black edge to the designer series paper. Okay, and then make sure it's eyeballed straight, and there we go. So our card is really starting to come together, and you can see just some nice details, some layers. And now out of this beautiful Hues of Happiness designer series paper here, I've just trimmed out a couple of flowers. I'm just trying to see if I can find. So here is the sheet of paper. It is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, it's got all these different colors going across, and I've just chosen a few of the fresh freesia and the gorgeous grape flowers, and I've pre-cut them out, but now we're just going to fussy cut them. So it is different than the card that I originally showed you. I've picked different flowers, but it'll give me the same effect, I'm sure. So we're just going to cut these out real quick. Fussy cut. And as I'm fussy cutting this, I would love to see in the comments what your thoughts are on this teacup, Tea Boutique bundle and suite already. If this is your first time seeing them, what do you think? And if you saw them in the catalog, were they one of the ones that made it to your wish list? Because I absolutely love all the versatility this bundle gives us. Okay, so we're just going to fussy cut out these flowers. And it's really important when you're fussy cutting that you have a nice, sharp, comfortable pair of scissors. A lot of people say they only like small scissors. Quite often I will use my great big ones as well. It all depends which ones feel comfortable that day. The other thing to note is that when I'm cutting, I'm turning my paper, not the scissors. So that also helps to get some extra control over when you're cutting. Okay, and I am leaving a slight white border on them. That's always my preference. And then I had one last, look how pretty that paper is on the back too. Okay, so, oh, Gail's got it on her wish list, and Tina loves the floral paper. Yes, it's gorgeous. Okay, so just cut this last guy out here. Almost done this card. And you know, as I'm sitting here cutting this out, what's going through my mind is all the other colors of flowers and card bases I could combine to make the same card but different, using the different colored florals and a different pattern paper in the background here. And you know, you can always pick your base to accent whatever else other embellishments you have. So, okay, there we go, fussy cutting. That was easy. So on this card, you can see I had one large dark purple and then one double light purple, and I sort of layered them. For this one, it's slightly different. So we've got two larger flowers, and if I do that, it's still pretty, but it does cover quite largely, and it goes way up here onto my greeting. So what I'm going to try, and this is, I'm hoping this is going to work, I'm just going to come in here with my scissors and I'm going to cut these flowers right on the line. I'm just going to try something. As I said, I didn't have a plan before because I was going to do a blog walkthrough. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut these apart, and you can see there's a little slit here now. And then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to tuck it in through the teacup like that. Ta-da! So now I've got both those gorgeous flowers showing, but they've added some layer, one's behind, one's on the top, and it fits nicely in that teacup now. So little tips and tricks that you can do as you're crafting to make it look however you want. So I'm going to tuck in here a dimensional. Okay, I'm going to slide that into place. I do want to show a few of those leaves. So the other thing I'm going to try, hold on, bear with me, I'm going to just cut this leaf here, but up a bit. Let's see if I can, there we go. Now I've got some green, and we'll work around that. That's okay. So there we go. Now I want to put a dimensional behind here as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the bottom part of this pink flower, or the light purple flower, and on top of the cup. Now what it's done is it's given it a little bit of extra dimension. I don't know if you guys can tell that in the camera, but this part is a little higher up than this. And then because I cut this apart as an afterthought, I want to secure it in place so it doesn't get ripped off. So a little mini dimensional can go in behind there. And then we can just tuck it in like that. And now nobody will even know that it was cut apart before. So there we go. So that's that. And then we do have one more flower, so I could always bump that up on top. I could put it down here. So what do you guys think? Do you like it down here in the corner? Or do you think I should add another extra layer of flower up here on the cup? So I'll give you a few seconds to type in your answer. So down below or up top. So let me know. Either way, it's going to need dimensionals, so I'll go ahead and put those on. I'm going to put 2. Okay. So there we go. I'm waiting to see. So right now we've got Tina says in the corner, Gail says down below, Carol down below. You guys are reading my mind. Extra layer, okay, well, let's see. So we could even put it here or here. Corner of the cup. I'm thinking this is what you guys mean when you're saying corner of the cup. It's just so pretty, and I cut it, so I don't want to change it. So what I like is I like it down below, but I think I'm going to change the options and I'm going to put it right here. What do you guys think? Yes? Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that one right there. And then when it comes to putting on our final steps, we always need a little bit of bling. We're going to use these gorgeous pastel pearls that just happen to be in coordinating colors. And I'm going to use the lighter purple ones here with my Take a Pick tool, which looks like it is starting to wear out here. Okay, and in this card, I've got the corners, the bling here and up here, but now we're going to improvise a little because we've now taken over the space with this flower. So no problem, we're going to just stick them in the opposite. So I'm going to put one, no I'm not, I'm going to put, what am I going to do? I'm going to still put one there because I think it looks really nice on top of that black. Now it almost doesn't even really need any more, but you know me and my bling, so let's put a couple more down here. Maybe we'll just put two. Let's put two here. Well, I think that looks pretty just like that. So there you have it. There is our Tutorial Tuesday card for tonight, May 3rd. Launch of the brand new catalog. I've shown you some very pretty new products, which were the Tea Boutique Suite, the stamp, the dies, and the designer series paper. There's also some amazing Memories and More cards, which are absolutely gorgeous, and I will be showing you those in the near future. Then, of course, we use the Hues of Happiness designer series paper to cut out these gorgeous flowers. And we put it all together to make a really pretty friendship card. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I was really, really excited to come on for the launch of the annual catalog and share these beautiful projects with you. As I mentioned, please go over and check out my createwithbirdsnest.ca website. It's brand new, it's gorgeous, it's pretty, and it's super fun. I will post the link and you can leave me your comments on what your thoughts, what your favorite thing is, and what you think of the new look. All right, so thank you everybody. On my website, it also has the new May host code, and I will be posting what my customer appreciation gift will be in my blog post once I get this one up tomorrow. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I love crafting and stamping with you, and I can't wait to share more of the beautiful products out of this annual catalog. So remember, if you do want to join that In Color Club, I'm going to be putting the order in like ASAP. As soon as I get off of here and get myself organized, I'm going to get that order in. So if you do want to join, send me a quick message or a text and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks everybody. Until next week, I will see you then.